Hello, hello, hello. Welcome all of my beautiful, beautiful friends from the internet. I am so excited to be back here for another episode of the Reddit Asks Us podcast today on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. I'm so excited. I love each and every single one of you, and I am so happy that you decided to choose this episode and listen in with us today. So, welcome to the Reddit Asks Us podcast, where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. Remember, if you are watching on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating and also please leave us a review. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, that's what we say for my other podcast, my basketball podcast. But anyways, I'm so excited to be back here with y'all again today. So we have a couple of replies from last week's episodes. Remember, this is what I was going to say. Remember that if you have something interesting to say about an episode or the episode title and you want to answer the question yourself, go to my YouTube page at Reddit Asks Us and comment your answer under the latest video, and I will read that answer out on the next week's episode. So today, we have 2 responses from last week's episode. I am loving it. I love the fact that we are getting some more people replying. This is awesome. I love you, Vortex. Don't worry. But we have another reply here from AJ saying that his most I don't know your gender. Their most gatekeepy opinions that you shouldn't wear band t-shirts if you don't listen to the band. This one is a pet peeve on many levels. Because the last episode was what is your most gatekeepy opinion? This was AJ's most gatekeepy opinion. Yeah, you definitely shouldn't be wearing those band t-shirts. It's become an aesthetic because they sell them at like H&M and I don't know, and Zara and whatnot, and they sell these like band t-shirts that have cool logos. Like everyone knows the Rolling Stones logo. That's like the classic, like the lips or whatever, the tongue out. It's like, and that's the classic one that kind of everybody knows. And I see so many shirts with the Rolling Stone logo on it, people wearing that. I see Led Zeppelin a lot. I see people wear Metallica a lot, Aerosmith a lot, like those classic like 70s, 80s rock bands. I see people wear those, Guns N' Roses. Oh my God. I see so many people with the Guns N' Roses t-shirts, man. And you can just tell they're like the Gen Z kids who only listen to, who's the girl who oh my God. What the hell is her name? The girl who makes that song, I'll be happy as hell. What is that fucking song? Baby, like a damn sociopath. What the fuck is that song called? I know me and my roommate, we have a playlist of all the white people bangers. The bangers that absolutely get white people going. And I know I have it on that playlist. The logo, it's like she's like standing there. And I think I added it a while ago. I need to know the name of this song. I have to. I'm stalling until we can get this. Let's see. It's coming up close. I know it's coming up here. It's coming up. I know it is. I added so many songs to this playlist too. There's a lot. Anyways, maybe good for you, Olivia Rodrigo. That's the name of the song. Yeah, it's constantly. It's like TikTok kids who only listen to Olivia Rodrigo and Billie Eilish, and then they wear those like Guns N' Roses t-shirts and like Metallica t-shirts and stuff, and they're like, I'm edgy. It's like, shut up. Like, oh my God, that annoys me. Annoys me as well, AJ. And Vortex says that his most gatekeeping opinion is, there's 2 of them. It is very sad that every 60 seconds in Africa, 1 minute passes. That is very true. And that is something that I think we should be gatekeepy about because it's a universal principle. And then the next one is that stars are not real. They are just holes poked in the container so that we can breathe. This is like, I read an interesting article recently about physics. It was like something isn't like our universe is either not locally real or I can't remember, but it just made me think of, I have to read the article again. It was very complicated. But in essence, I think what the article was saying is that um, there's a possibility that some of the things that we look at are projections. They're not actually even real. So it's just like, or it's like whether matter or not actually is real matter, or whether it's just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was such a complicated article, but it was just very interesting. It just made me think about how the universe might be entirely fake. Just look up "universe not locally real" and read the article. After a little bit of like explaining in the article, I'm doing a terrible job and I'm probably freaking some people out. They're like, what? Universe isn't real? What? Am I not real? Well, maybe you aren't. Maybe you're just a projection. But it's almost like if matter actually has matter in it. That's kind of like what the article. That's kind of what I got from it. I don't know, but it's like there's the physicist won like a Nobel Prize for it, and it's just very interesting work. But anyways, thank you so much, Vortex and AJ, for the comments. Remember, if you guys want your comments read, I will read them out. If you want me to answer them or react to them, I will read them out on the podcast. Just go to my YouTube page at Reddit Asks Us, and I will comment under the most recent video, and I'll read those responses out on the next episode. Guys, we have a fun one today. We have a very fun episode. This one again comes from our main lovely Askreddit page, and everyone's been browsing through Reddit recently. They must have seen this, but I'm going to read it out. What are some harmless ways to fuck with people? This was awesome. This was the most top voted post of the week. I'm just going to give it an upvote right now. But my dad is just that guy. Like, he loves doing stuff like that. Like, he just loves messing with people for no reason. It's just like his trait, his weird thing. He will just do things to people, like little pranks or just little anything. He loves messing with telemarketers. He loves it. It's like he acts like he's doing something the whole time and eggs them on, and then he'll just be like, "Oh yeah, one last thing, fuck you," or something. Just, I don't know. Just he just loves doing little stuff like that, little ways to mess with people. And I'm trying to think of all the stuff that he does, but it's just like it happens so just randomly. That's why it's hard to remember. Like, and he loves to scare people too, which is random stuff like that. But we have some very, very interesting comments to run through today. So this one is the classic. I feel like all of these could be like TikTok trends and actually be funny because they're not really harmful. Some of these TikTok trends are so stupid. But I want to ride my bike. I've seen this on TikTok and it's so funny. Carefully step over a non-existing obstacle. Brass Boar says, do this at a crosswalk when cars are stopped too close. That is funny. Because then if the car's too close to the crosswalk and you like step over something, they're going to be like, wait a second, am I going to hit something when I pull up? And of course, like when you're driving, you're doing so much passive thinking. You're not remembering whether or not there's something in front of your car. Oh my God. I love those trends. They're so funny. It's like out in front of a store. It's like, oh, it's like somebody will walk by and then they'll trip. They'll be like, and then they'll like look back and they'll be like, what the hell? And then like another, so it's like a person who's like standing by this doorway or corner or something, and they're just on their phone. And then one person will walk by and they'll trip and they'll be like, what the fuck? Ugh. And then the next person will walk by and then they'll like look at it and then they'll step over it. And then people like, and then they'll get like one more person and then they'll do the same thing. They'll step over it, and then the person who's like standing there will ultimately step over something that doesn't exist. It's so funny. It's just like human psychology, right? Like it's all about like we want to fit in, right? And we don't want to make a silly mistake. So we're even if we don't see anything, if we trust in the fact that why would a random citizen who's walking by, like in your logical brain, it makes more sense that a random person would be genuinely stepping over something than it would make sense if these people are all conspiring to step over an object that doesn't exist. But that's the best part about being human, is that you can prank people like this. You can totally get them to believe that there is something there when there absolutely is not. It just looks so funny. It's so ridiculous. I don't know why that cracks me up, but it just does. Next one comes from Boycia5254. Say no pun intended after a sentence where there was clearly no pun. Yeah, I had an amazing workout at the gym today. It was just unbelievable. I saw a couple guys there that I knew. We lifted together, no pun intended. And it was just it was a really great great time. What? Where was the pun? I don't understand. Well, yeah, exactly. No pun intended, right? So wasn't intending to there was no pun intended, right? I wasn't intending to pun. So, anyways, I gotta get going. I gotta get out of here. Pitcher Desire 8. This meatloaf is amazing, Sharon. No pun intended. By the way. What? No. What? Wait. What? Do you wait? Are you? Is the meatloaf bad? Do you not like it? Is the pun the meatloaf? Are you punning my meatloaf? Are you saying my meatloaf is a joke to you? Is it bad? Or are you saying no pun intended in sense that it's good? Because you didn't want to intend the pun. I'm confused. What's happening here? Dead procrastinator. For some reason, this makes me think of the guy who randomly used the word perchance in an essay. Haywired for death, BH, teacher. You can't just say perchance. So the Roman Empire, the ultimate fall of the Roman Empire in 500 AD, with the fall of Constantinople or whatever. And that was the last day and the last year of the Roman Empire, perchance. What? Perchance what? That doesn't even sound like a real word, perchance. Like, how do you even use that in a real sentence? Can you fetch me the water, perchance? Like, is that how you would use it? Perchance, like, if you could, or if there is a chance? Or is it like, he did this, or he did this, perchance? Or is it something like, perchance they did something, or perchance some sort of action was fulfilled or wasn't fulfilled based on the perchance? Who knows? It doesn't feel like a real word. It feels like one of those fake words, you know what I mean? Words that don't really exist. Spinoza Robot says, when you shake someone's hand, move yours left to right as they do the traditional up and down. A hilarious circle ensues. That is so funny. You just have to be aggressive with it. Just shake their hand left to right. Just instead of up to down, just be like, because you know how you like you kind of go in for a handshake to the side, right? You don't go in for a handshake directly vertical of yourself, perpendicular to your body. You go sort of from your side. Ugh. Sorry guys, I'm not even tired. I don't know what's going on. You go from the side of your body and you like meet the other person's hand and just keep going. Just be like, once you hit their hand, just go boo, 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 like just really aggressively side to side. Be like, oh yeah, that's where I shake hands where I'm from. Yeah, we do that. I'll like meet Americans or something. It's like the Canadian handshake. Oh yeah, sorry, that's often confusion. We shake hands like that where I'm from. Aren't you from Canada? Yeah. Just, classic Canadian, right? Maple syrup, mooses or meese. The beaver, right? A bud, and the side-to-side handshake. It's one of those things. It's just, everybody knows that for Canadians, We're polite, just one of those Canadian things. I think that's bullshit. I think you're bullshitting me right now. Where and why would you have ever learned to shake someone's hand right to left and not up and down? The Japanese bow, and they know how to shake someone's hand. I think what you're saying is bullshit. No, it's just, you clearly haven't spent enough time in Canada. Let me just tell you that. You definitely don't know the Canadian culture, if you know what I'm saying. There's clear historical reasons behind it. We talk about it in school. It's a big thing. I know. I wouldn't expect you to understand. It's just, you Americans, right? You could be so ignorant, especially of Canadian history, right? So maybe next time do your fucking research before you talk shit about Canada. I'm just kidding. I love all you, my American listeners. I'm just playing into the stereotypes, right? I'm playing into my own stereotypes, eh? Playing into my own stereotypes there, eh, bud? Hey, Buddy's playing in his own fucking stereotypes, eh? It's like all the fucking Nelk Boys sound. It's like all the Nelk Boys. Buddy, I just fucking absolutely sent it this past weekend, bud. It was crazy. What were you drinking, eh? Who were you hanging out with, eh? Did you party? Did you party this weekend, bud? It's Halloween, bud. Yeah, we're ripping the costumes, buddy. Yeah. We were slaying, buddy. Oh my goodness, man. You got to choose a costume where you can absolutely slay. This is just classic Canadians. Swedish butt whistle. Wow, nice. I put a tiny piece of masking tape over my coworker's mouse laser on April Fool's Day one year. Wrote April Fool's on it. He troubleshot every single thing except examining the mouse itself. He eventually called IT, who simply turned the mouse over and pointed it out. This is funny for the reason that, like, if your mouse isn't working, oftentimes you're just gonna like hit it. You just like hit it on the desk. You move it around, unplug it, replug it from your computer. If there's like a battery slot on the back of it, you're gonna like check the batteries. But like you don't really flip it over. It's like one of the last things that you do. Whereas the IT guy is the guy who's gonna be like, it's the type of thing where it's like, my Wi-Fi's not working. Well, did you turn it on and off? It's like they're gonna be obviously the ones to inspect the mouse. Obviously, the first thing they're gonna see, they're gonna be like, you got pranked, bud. So, there you go. Next one comes from reviewing Remy. Don't turn around when you walk into a lift. Or sorry, don't turn around when you walk into the lift. Because we don't call it a lift. We call it an elevator. The lift. British people have like just the funniest like nicknames for things. Like I've never heard it called anything but the elevator, which is, in a sense, it makes more sense to call it a lift. Like, because you guys have just slang terms for everything. The loo instead of the bathroom. The loo. Or like there's constant British things like that. But the lift actually makes sense, right? Because it I guess maybe if you're going down. But in a sense, I mean, most people take the lift to go up, right? Which does make sense as a nickname. And the elevator, elevator, that's 4 syllables, right? The lift, that's just 1. It just comes off the tongue easier, Don't turn around when you're going in the lift. Oi, you want to learn how to mess with people? It's what you do. When you're going on the lift, you don't turn around. All right? People are going to find that really funny. It's my British person. I don't know what accent of where that's from, but that's my interpretation of that particular accent from England. That's really funny, though. It's extremely disorienting when that happens, though. Like, I use the elevator a lot because of like what I do for work. I'm constantly going up and down elevators, and the only elevator where that doesn't feel wrong is the elevator where there's doors on either side. But if you just go in and you just like stare at the back, it is incredibly disorienting. It feels wrong. It's like putting on a wet sock. It's like, why would you do this? This should be illegal. This should be illegal. There should be a sign in the elevator that says, if you do not face the door when you enter this elevator, fines will be charged. We will be arresting on site. Every floor of the building, of every building, must have a security guard who just sits outside of the elevator waiting for that guy to just, he sees him turn around, and he's like, get on the fucking ground! Honestly, it's uncivilized. Humble Rufus says, when having a conversation during a meal, specifically only ask questions to people that are chewing. ETA, I was never a server, but had this taught to me by a dear friend of mine years ago when we used to eat in a public cafeteria and mess with people we just met. It's like, So when'd you move out here? I moved out here. Sorry. I moved out here 2 years ago. Just like cutting a steak. Oh, cool. Wait till he takes another bite. Do you like it here? Oh, sorry. I'm really like it. It's a really great place to live. It's really great weather, and the people are. Sorry. And the people are really nice. Yeah, that's the classic way. You only ask questions to people who are chewing. It's a wonderful way to channel your inner demons, your inner devils. DFuzz3 Flame says, whenever I visit my extended family across the country, I bring a bag full of random remotes that I don't use anymore. Just random remotes that go to old DVRs or anything really. Just hide them around the house. They only recently caught on. Now that is menace behavior. That is certified menace behavior. I was somewhere the other day and somebody had like a bunch of remotes and that all didn't work. And this happens because like I work AV and this happens with AV so much. They're just, oh yeah, can you take the TV out and start up those TVs and fire them up and get the presentations running? Yeah, no problem. You bring out the TVs, there's like 50 different remotes. You know, you're just like, oh fuck. God damn it, which one of these actually works? That is menace behavior. Especially, oh man, I just think of there's this episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, where Larry's trying to figure out the TV, and he's like, there's like 4 different remotes there, and there's only one TV. It's like, I'm trying to fix a fucking TV. It's not working. There's a million different remotes here. That is true devil behavior. That's what you do when you're born a sinner. You're born with that. You are ingrained. That is in your blood. That is in your DNA. Next one comes from Shay J. If I know someone is walking a little ways behind me and I turn a corner with nobody else around, I like to run 10 to 20 steps to widen the gap and then laugh to myself, thinking that person behind me will be confused. I doubt anyone ever notices, but I get a kick out of it every time. Oh, they definitely notice. That would be so trippy though. It's like one of those moments where it's like you think that you lost, like you must have lost like 30 seconds of your life. You know, you're just walking. Someone's right in front of you. They turn the corner. They're like, they run. Now they're like 20 feet ahead of you. And you look up and they're like, it's like, what? Wait, how's that even? Did I just black out? Am I drunk? Did I just? I think I'm going to need some psychiatric evaluations. I'm scared. Mom, I blacked out again. Mom, I'm scared. You have to go pick me up. So where you see the person's just crying, sitting there with just like their head in their knees. I keep blacking out. I can't help it. You're just like, oh shit. It was a prank. No, you just gotta walk away from that one. That person has issues that are far deeper than losing minutes, my friends. Next one comes from Visit Jack Lake. I know someone who always takes an item to a party and leaves it somewhere in the house, i.e. like a trinket or tchotchke. Gemini Accountant LLC. My aunt fills her medicine cabinet with ping pong balls whenever she has a party. That is so funny for so many reasons, because it's like, first of all, it's a great way to punish snoopy people. First of all, why the fuck are you looking at people's medicine cabinets? This is like a thing. I've seen this in like TV, and this is like what snoopy people do. They like to look in people's medicine cabinets. I know people like this. It's so, oh my God. I have friends like this who are just like, we'll be at dinner, and then they'll be like, yeah, and I like saw this in their medicine cabinet. It was so weird. And I'm like, why are you looking in someone's medicine cabinet? That is so weird. It's weirder that you're looking in it than whatever possible medications they have in there. That is a violation of privacy. And they'll just laugh about it and then be like, I know, I just like to look. Like, I just like looking. I just like looking at people's medicine cabinets. I'm like, that's such a violation. Why is that something that you should not enjoy doing that? Like, you enjoy being snoopy? You enjoy having information about people's private medical conditions? Like, oh, it's so weird. Like, they'll just laugh about it and act like it's a funny thing, like it's something they do for fun. Oh yeah, I just love like looking at people's medicine cabinets. I think John might have cancer. Yeah, I saw that medication in there. It kind of got me concerned. So we should probably talk to him, right? Maybe not, considering the fact that he obviously told us he doesn't have cancer. And how else would he know that we know that he has cancer without us having snooped in his medicine cabinet, okay? Bad idea. And it's also funny because the person who opens the medicine cabinet is going to have a rush of ping pong balls come at them. They're going to panic and be like, I got to pick up all these ping pong balls. It's definitely going to make noise. If someone's standing outside the bathroom waiting to use it, all they hear is all over the floor from these ping pong balls. You're going to be panicking, having to pick up these ping pong balls, thinking, oh my goodness, I can't spend too much time in this bathroom because what the hell are people going to think I'm doing in here? But I have to say at the same time, pick up all these bouncing ping pong balls and figure out a way to put them in the medicine cabinet. Excuse me. And then on top of that, you're going to wonder, once that is all over, you're going to leave the bathroom thinking, wait a second, why the fuck do you have 50 ping pong balls in your medicine cabinet? What? Why? What the hell? It's like they're all like right next to your like you have like actual medication for like I don't know, like I don't know what like you have diabetes or something. You never told anybody about your diabetes medication and it's like they're all right next to your diabetes medication. It's like, wait, what? Why do you have a bunch of ping pong balls next to some very serious medication? I'm so utterly confused. What? Do they serve a purpose? Do you use them to take your medicine? Do you put the pill on the top of the ping pong ball, bounce the ping pong ball on the floor, and then the medicine gets shot into the air and then you try to catch it in your mouth? I have so many questions. Why the hell do you have ping pong balls in your medicine cabinet? But that's just like, you just leave it a mystery. Because what are they can never confront you about it. Then they have to admit they were snooping around in your medicine cabinet. So that will forever remain a mystery to them. That is awesome. Your grandma is goated. 22, Demarath says, after giving a compliment, I say no offense and watch them struggle to find the non-existent insult. Yeah, you know, I've got these shoes, right? That I work in. You know, they're these boots that I have to wear these steel-toed boots. But no offense, I think I'm gonna absolutely have to get a pair of insoles for them because it is just so uncomfortable. I can't if I'm working like an 8-hour shift, you know, and I'm on my feet all day. My dogs are barking by the end of the day. I just can't. I literally just cannot wear these shoes any longer without insoles because my feet just get so tired. Then you work day after day after day, and it just adds up, man. It just takes a toll out on you. No offense. I'm sorry. Back up. Just back it up a little bit there. You said no offense. What do you mean no offense? I'm struggling to understand what you're talking about. No offense. Who would you possibly offend? Well, you know, that's the point. It's no offense, right? I'm not trying to offend anyone. You know, that's the whole point of saying no offense, right? I'm not trying to offend anyone, right? Yeah, but who were you offending? Well, that's the point. Nobody, because I said no offense, right? That's the name of the expression. It's called no offense because you're not trying to offend anybody. Yeah, but who were you trying to offend? No one. I was actively trying not to offend. Well, who are you trying not to offend? Anybody. Anybody who could have been offended, I'm trying not to offend them by saying no offense. But you do realize that makes no sense. I beg to differ. It makes absolutely a ton of sense. You say no offense because you don't want to offend anyone. Yeah, but how are you gonna How are you trying to offend anyone? Exactly. I wasn't trying to offend anyone. That's why I'm saying no offense. I can't do this anymore. Shoots them. Kills them right on the spot. Can't deal with this anymore. It's over. That Juliet says, when I'm driving, I like to wave at random people as if I knew them. Hilarious to see the confusion on their faces. You have to be super enthusiastic about it too. You have to be like that sort of that like high where you're like, hi, you know, like where it's like the person that who's commenting or the person who you're waving at, it's like it could not possibly be mistaken in any other way as like, because you know when you let someone have the right of way, you know, when they're kind of like trying to sneak in, it's like so you're driving straight on this road. There's an intersection that crosses. They're trying to turn into your lane of traffic, you know, so you kind of stop before that street and you're like, you wave them. You're like, you can get in front of me, right? That's kind of like the wave. It's like, and then, you know, they kind of wave at you maybe as a thank you and you're like, yep. No, this one you have to get the big eyes, and then you have to like tilt your head forward, be like, drop your jaw, and then you go for the wave. You're like, hi, really enthusiastic. Get it, the big wave, and they're gonna be like, hi. That's what you got to do. My dad, whenever that would happen as a kid, my dad would never be like super enthusiastic, but he would like, you know, give someone the little wave after something. But of course, as a kid, you don't understand the rules of the road. So you're not going to understand the nuances, right? And every single time that would happen to my dad, I would always be like, oh, do you know him? How do you know him? I'm like, why? And then he'd be like, no. And I'd be like, why were you waving? And he would just, oftentimes, he would just not even say anything. That's the type of menace stuff my dad does. He would not say anything on purpose. It's so annoying. And I'd be like, Dad. And I'd be like, and he'd be just shrug his shoulders or something. He'd be like, and then he'd like bring up a different topic or, you know, as a kid, often you just drop it. You just be like, whatever. It's, oh my God. He thinks that type of stuff is funny. It's so annoying. But, yeah, you do. That is a top tier way to mess with people. Forogsev 346 says, my friend logged into his Twitter on my tablet. So I kept changing his profile picture to a banana. He thought someone hacked him and tweeted about it. I replied to the tweet using his profile. It got so bad he was arguing with himself on Twitter. Oh my God. That is awesome. That is hilarious. Some bastard keeps changing my profile picture to a banana. Replies to himself. Let's be real here. You know you wanted the banana. He's like having like a schizophrenic internal conversation with himself. That must be looking trippy as hell on Twitter. Someone hacked my account. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They did not. They absolutely did not hack our account. It's like, wait, what? So wait, was your account hacked or not? Excuse me. Sorry, that's terrible. I love strawberries. LOL says, say high five to somebody, but don't put your hand up. Aha! Like they do something dope. Haha! High five. The other person goes up, and it's just like, walk on. Just keep walking. Or just clap. Just be like, good job. Like, wait, aren't you gonna? You said high five. I was like, yeah. I mean, I don't really feel like it anymore. What do you mean you don't feel like it anymore? You can't just put your hand up, say high five, and like enthusiastically be like high five, you know, in the classic high five voice, and then just don't put your hand up. What do you mean? Like you can't do that. Yeah, well, I just didn't feel like it anymore. I just wasn't, you know, the vibe wasn't there. Kind of passed. You know, the vibe is kind of over. I'm kind of done with it. I said high five, and then I was like, I don't want to. Gotta put my hand up and everything. I don't really want to do that. Who wants to do that? It's a lot of work. Menace. When you're talking to someone, this one comes from Cat Hoarder 0. When you're talking to someone, just keep handing them random items. They'll keep taking them without realizing it. Yeah, I've seen this on like TV shows and stuff. This was on like, there's some of those like people who mess with people. Like what's it? Darren Brown. Go watch Darren Brown's both of his Netflix specials. Shout out to Darren Brown. What a fascinating guy. But that's like his type of thing. He's like a mentalist, I guess you could say. Like he knows how to mess with people. He can, he knows how to like his first special, he's like on stage and he like cures people of their diseases in the same way that like preachers say that they do that type of stuff. But he like knows it's all BS and like explains it to you, but he doesn't actually explain like how he does it. He kind of just does it himself while telling you it's all bullshit. And then you're just left with the fact that it's like, well, how does he do it? But at the same time, you're also like, what the hell? How did he get it to work though? Fascinating stuff. So he does stuff like that though. Darren Brown. It's really, really hilarious. Just like handing people items. It's like a psychological principle, whatever. Those do it. Okay. Last one coming in here. When I was a corrections officer, we had a guy who worked with us who was kind of a dick to everyone. And he was computer illiterate. We took a screenshot of his desktop, moved all of his icons off so it looked legit, but nothing worked. It took him an hour before he finally called IT, and they figured it out pretty quickly. He wouldn't talk to any of us for about a week. Yeah, so if you put your mouse to the top of the screen, a little bar is going to come down. Yeah, there you go. Left corner, it's a picture. So, yeah, you were looking at a photo. That's not your actual desktop. That's just a photograph of your desktop. Fucking. Oh, man, I love messing with people who aren't good at phones. Except sometimes it can be so annoying because it's like, God damn it. Learn how to use a fucking cell phone. All right, that's going to bring to the end of the episode today, how to mess with people. Maybe I might do a part 2 to this one because there are a lot more, and they're all really funny. A lot of people's funny stories. So remember, thanks for listening to the Reddit Ask Us podcast. This is the show where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. I'm your host, Luke Dick. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, make sure to leave us please leave us a rating. And if you have anything to say about the last episode and you want to answer the question for yourself, go and comment under my YouTube channel at Reddit Asks Us, and I will read out your response on the next week's episode. I love each and every single one of you. Have a great week. I love you all. Please leave a rating and also please leave a review. I love you. I'm Luke Dick. Peace out. See you next week.